Okay, we are now starting the webinar. We're letting people in. Okay. Gerry, remind me, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Bowmanville, Ontario, which is 35 minutes outside of east of Toronto, Canada.
Okay. So I don't know if you knew this. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I used to be in Nashville, but now I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah, the southeast hub of tech down
Yeah,
there.
it's an amazing city. I would love to see where everyone else is calling in from. So just drop it in the chat. Where you guys calling in from? All right, where are you guys calling in from? Drop it in the chat.
Hopefully you got folks from across the world. You got Canadians, I know that. So hopefully there's more Canadians there.
Looks like chat is disabled. So drop it in the Q&A if you don't mind. I don't know how to enable chat on Zoom while in the webinar, so we're gonna have to deal with the Q&A section for now. Okay, we got Maryland, Tampa, Florida, okay. Wyoming, San Antonio, Texas, another Maryland, okay. Pennsylvania. We got someone in Atlanta, Georgia, okay, right there with me. Houston, Texas. Wisconsin, all right. We got Kingston, Ontario. Is that close to you?
Oh yeah, that's an hour and a half away.
Oh, nice. Colorado, California, another Atlanta. Oh, I got people from all over. Okay, this is awesome. All right, let's see, what time is it? We are 2 minutes past, so I think it makes sense to go ahead and get started. We can let some people jump in. So everyone, thank you for joining us today. We are really excited to do this customer webinar. This is a webinar series we've been doing where we want to have the chance to talk to our customers once a month. Do a webinar, tell them about their experience. And Gerry Anderson, he's the president at Blue Canyon CPA. He's going to be talking today about how he uses financial sense to really maintain quality work and keep his clients satisfied. So Gerry, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Take it away.
Sure, thank you. Shahram, we love what you've done since we first started with you, going on 3 years now. We're a small firm, boutique firm, very much more hybrid. We do a lot of virtual work, offices in Ajax, Bowmanville, and we just opened up an office or took over a small firm in Toronto by Yorkdale Mall. We really like to do a lot of digital automation transformation. We still do the accounting, business advisory work, the tax work, some CFO advisory work, but we find that with financial sense, we've really able to focus on client needs. So we're fine tuning our service offerings now because our tech stack is really paying off. And I'll tell you the wonderful story of how our email dropped off a cliff. We have a 4-day work week. Financial sense has been awesome because it allows us to still communicate with the clients 24/7, 365, but our staff can work according to what flexes with their needs. We're family first, so family always take priority. We've been a merger of 3 firms. The oldest firm we bought 4 years ago was started in 1992. And so I started in public accounting in 1987. So seen a lot of change from paper forms and about a stack of working papers about this high when I was doing audit and insurance work. Wow. And like I say, it's financial sense when Shahram started and he won the Tech Stars in Nashville and then just worked with a CPA firm down there and it's just taken off. And so maybe you want to go through the agenda real quick, Shahram, and then you'll have to cut me off because otherwise we'll be here for 3 hours. So
yeah, we'll go through the agenda. So for today's webinar, the goal is to go 30 minutes, so we won't keep you guys too long, but we may go over if there's a lot of great questions. So first, we're going to start talking about the problems that Gerry was having his firm that led him to look for a solution like financial sense, why he chose us, and how he uses financial sense with his firm today to really maintain work quality, manage his team, and improve his client satisfaction or maintain the client satisfaction. And then if we have time, we may do a quick 5-minute demo if it makes sense, and open up to Q&A. But it's going to be short and sweet.
Wonderful. Well, like I say, jump in, Shahram, so I make sure on time, because otherwise we will go through rabbit holes and down rabbit burrows that will keep everyone. So about 4 years ago, bought a very 100% paper-based practice. They were using Excel sheets. We were using Excel sheets. We were looking at some of the tools out there, very costly, very pricey. We're still somewhat more not really baked for the small mid-market firms like our size. So that's when you guys showed up. We were having troubles trying to keep track of engagements, the percentage complete to the file. Very tough getting clients. The old days is you had to drop everything off. Thanks to Financial Sense, we found out that we could use portals and client tasks, which has been a game changer, especially during COVID. That has allowed us to transform and cut our processing times dramatically. So we're not touching the file 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And the speed in which Shahram's team puts all these innovations in is amazing. But
Thank you.
we will talk about that later. Sometimes you move too fast, like you're moving at the speed, like Bill Gates says, at the speed of thought. And I'm like, slow down. And Kelly Parks, who's, she helped show us through a couple of your webinars what can be done with Financial Sense, which really took off like 2 years ago for us. So if you can attend some of Kelly Parks' webinars with Financial Sense, you definitely want to listen to that lady. But we just found that Office 365, every accountant was going to Excel to try to manage your business, and it doesn't work, especially with a multi-office firm with clients that are more fluid, because we have a team approach, not to an individual person account. So we wanted to make sure we could easily service the needs of the client, but also have a clear place where we can quickly log in and find out what's going on. We also need something, because not that other firms have problems with clients missing deadlines or being less than truthful or transparent, but we have that problem where we needed something to hold clients accountable, especially, and we love the chat function, but I will get into that more when I show the demo. So we went with Financial Sense after looking at all the big guys as well. Is we found the price and the value was very good. The speed of improvements, like, and I'll show you on the dashboard and how we interacted. I can't show a UR system because of privacy laws in Canada and also public practice guidelines for confidentiality. So Shahram has allowed me to use the demo account, and I can show you where it all is, that we use a ton. Like, we get so buried into Financial Sense, we actually don't check our email all that often, which is kind of nice. So our email traffic has dropped, and my email traffic has dropped about 60%. So I'm now focusing over onto sales, marketing, and innovation. But the speed of improvements you have is just incredible. Shahram, sorry to cut you off there.
No, I wanted to touch on that for a second. So that's really interesting what you said. You said your emails traffic has dropped 60%. So you're getting 60% less emails in your email inbox, right?
Yeah, before, like when we were dialoguing with clients, like everything was going through email. Now, okay. We just work through the chat and then also the notifications, and we get maybe 10 or 20 emails, but we really work hard to force the client to get into Financial Sense, and then we can have the conversation there that's dedicated to there. So we're not hunting through conversations on email, and everyone can easily chime in. So a case in point was 2 days ago, one of our accounting technicians, Aaron, said, hey, you need to get in here because the client's on, and he said he gave us everything. And so I said, okay, logged in 2 seconds. I was working Financial Sense, our tax system, the CRA portal, and I shot back saying, no, this is new, this is new, this is new. So we immediately were able to, I'll say, put out the fire, hold the client accountable, but we also have notes in all the conversations, so I could quickly go into that conversation and get an idea what's going on. I didn't have to go hunt through email or saying, look, let me go through my Outlook and use search and find out what's going on here.
Yeah.
The speed of response is I can't speak highly enough, is that client task and client management is being absolutely amazing.
So when you say speed of response, are you saying your clients are responding faster through that than they were to the email requests you were sending them in the past, or whatever methods
Oh
you were
yeah.
using?
We love it how like the notifications, you turn on the daily notifications. If they get yes, the big thing that was amazing that you popped in as a surprise for us late last year, early this year, is the SMS reminders. Like being able to text their phone and also their email and set up so they're constantly getting these reminders. It's been a game changer because no longer are we constantly having to hit them with get it done, get it done, get it done. The financial sense robot, you'll have to come up with a name with them or something, FC or FC Junior. But we don't have to go back and chase people saying we got this, and this. And some of the new innovations where you're telling me now in the system where when the client does all their work, you can say, okay, the file's ready to touch. I'm like, oh, this is even better. Like I don't even have, and we're making clear up front. And we're now focusing on clear communication during the onboarding and the beginning of the tax season, saying we will not touch your file, we will not respond to you until you've completed all your tasks.
Well, yeah.
Like that's amazing. And then also the support and training. Like I say, those speedos improvements. Like you guys were the first to put actually Chat GPT built in there. You beat everyone to the market, which was mind blowing. Like it was like I don't know how. I don't think you sleep or something. I don't know. You become so fast with this stuff. So one of the drawbacks is like the innovation is so fast on this platform that, and it's moving so quick. Like,
Yeah.
maybe what I need to do is kind of maybe get into the product, but chat, task notifications, dashboards, like all that stuff, and then capacity management is being fundamental. So maybe if it makes sense, do you want me to flip over to the actual application?
Yeah, show us what you mean. Let's
Okay.
take a look at it.
All right, so let me show you. So this is, we use Chrome quite a bit. Edge, Microsoft has a few challenges, but this is the demo system we use. We have about 700 clients in our system, and it's been pretty amazing. We live off the dashboard here. So not only do you have the client list that you can get through this is amazing. And all these forms are customizable, but seeing it active, inactive, or even be able to find who you're flying to, filtering. Kelly Park has a good video on this. You might, hopefully you'll bring her on again, Shamram, and kind of show her, show staff and clients how she's got a good checklist and got some good tools where if you really want to power the next one, how to optimize using Financial Sense. That's what we learned. But
so just to reiterate, I wanted to say that to go back to that last dashboard for anyone that hasn't actually tried Financial Support, this is your client database, right? This is where you can see all your clients and have a database of all their information. It's pretty empty right now because it's a demo account, but you could easily search for phone number, name, email, EIN, Social Security, anything you can think of, right?
Yeah, the search is awesome. Like we go to the dashboard, I use the search automatically. Like that is amazing because we call up the client, we can cross-reference to our tax system and immediately say, okay, got the name, we find it, we can click all the engagements they're working on. And then we like the drill down. That's what we've also found amazing.
Yeah.
So,
so this right here, go ahead.
Well, we like it because, the only, this is wording is we use engagements, but I know projects, some people use that as well, but this is where we can track what we're currently working on, but also down here, it'll also show closed projects and also recent activities. So this is where we can also manage, I'll go into monthly bookkeeping. That's an easy one, but this is where when we get into an engagement with client, like say a tax return for 2022 or monthly bookkeeping or payroll, this is the stuff that we truly love. What we also like is you can clone projects really fast using duplicate function. If you go to project detail, you can find it was set up, but the edit function is pretty amazing. Like this little tool right here is like we can quickly move assignees back and forth. Due dates, the accounting period, we can then classify what we're working on. This little tool has been pretty amazing because once we close the project, it sets up next year automatically, and we go in and we can just customize it. There's some minor issues we got to line up because the calendars don't automatically, line up year over year. But when we get this all set up, billing rates, service items, automatically assign this stuff. This was pretty amazing because you can delete everything else, and like I'll show you as you'll see it right here is if I click on this, done. Instantaneously, you change people saying, look, I need to reassign this file immediately. Our accounting technicians love it because I'm like, because we have our templates where automatically, one of the senior folks is already assigned to it. And so the senior folks are saying, will you get me off these accounts, these engagements, because I'm tired of being default. And so we're still trying to figure that out process wise, but otherwise, like being able to reassign stuff. And then, also the client tasks, like these ones right here this has been amazing because when we can go to notifications, this is what's been a game changer for us because of the fact that we set it all up. And if we want, we can either, I don't know, this is probably not a great analogy, but we can either carpet bomb everyone who is part of that client family, or we can, pinpoint with accuracy who we need to hit for tasks that are undone. It'll also tell you who's the main lead on that account, which is beautiful. So I don't have to touch every file. I can say, look, you're lead on this one, and then we'll back you up as required. But we can also go in and see, based on what you've done for security. I won't go down security and settings and users. You can do that in a demo separately, but we can really fine tune how to handle what's being communicated to what person. And then also this tracking right here is when it was last sent. This is new. You must have just done that recently because that allows us to see when it was done. But the tracking every day or one time only is being amazing. And then the client chat, like when we're in here, this is where we keep the communication. We no longer have to worry about emails because we get them into here, then the conversation's there and we can see what's going on, when we last talked with them, when did we last ping them. So no longer do we have to worry about timestamps or anything through email, going through sent mailboxes, seeing who talked to them last. It's all here. And then the task is if we're missing something, we just add 2 seconds is get me 2020, 21 statements. You add it real quick. You can also get into see where you want to give them a customized upload destination. You can also put the files that you want them to look at. And then also you can comment on that particular task. So you can move it to general or specific. And then the due dates, we love this function because we can reassign them. And then there's usually a click here. I know you're using double count, but we can also reassign, constantly keep these tasks carried forward year over year. So we basically know now for clients, especially in the personal returns, we've got our customized standard workflow and tasks that we do for each personal tax return, and then customized based on whether or not they are a sole proprietorship or they have rental properties or other income. I know in Canada it's called T776 and T2125s. In the US, I forget the forms for sole proprietorships. I've worked on a few tax returns, but then also being able to track any 1099s to get in or that detail. So it really allows us to make sure that we ask for the right information consistently year over year, and then you can carry it forward year over year.
See, and then, I think that's a big thing, right? So it's kind of hits on what you talked about earlier, like how you can, the project as a whole, so like the monthly bookkeeping or the annual work, you can set it to recur. So it'll automatically recreate it every month. And that's a big challenge because a lot of times people forget to recreate the same work when they're in the spreadsheets or copy the spreadsheet over. Things get missed and they slip through the cracks. So that's one big value add. But like you're talking about with these requests, right? So you can automatically request this information from the clients. And then when the project recurs every month, it's going to automatically request every single month for you that information. So you never have to reach out to your client asking for information again. It's like, it magically appears there.
Oh
when you're
yeah,
ready to
well,
work.
and I'm already realizing like we're 20 minutes in the webinar and I'm barely even scratching the surface here. And I'm just like, you know what? We promised half an hour. I will speed up here. You guys can always reach back to Shahram for the recording
Yeah.
or more demo. I'm just going to whip through this so fast and say, you got to check it out. And then I'll try to do this a 4-minute sprint. So hold on, folks. Because this is going to go pretty fast. So the other pieces we like as well is that the time tracking here. There's some new enhancements. We're asking Shahram to kind of move this into a simple time card. I think he's really close where we can replace our internal time and billing system. So then we can go all in if from client onboarding through to billing and collections. So we're really excited about this time tracking, but it also allows in here is capacity management. This is what I live off of, finding who's doing what. Now, this is not up to date or current, but I can easily set capacity based on our workloads or who has to do what. This is being awesome. And then this little column right here, overdue or over capacity, that's when I can quickly check and confirm saying, yeah, oops, sorry, Aaron, I've kind of given you like 250%, or Wilson, whoops, sorry, I need to reallocate or take some of the files my back. That has really allowed us to optimize, gives us two things. One, can we do the job more efficiently? My job as an innovator and trying to keep up in the same speed in which Financial Sense releases their updates and their speed to do the job quicker, faster, with higher quality, but also identifying where I'm not balancing the work to make sure I don't burn people out. So we love that. You know, some of the other things in terms of see what's going on, the control over your team, because we have people across, you know, 2-3 hours, and being able to work across multiple locations has been phenomenal. We have an awesome IT team, and now we're slowly moving everything to our cloud with fiber optics coming in. So it's just been unbelievable with what we can do. But we live off this dashboard. We usually also use notifications. I know this is all being cleared, but this is where I live off, where we can see what we got to know. So we use the @ function. If you go into your dashboard, say Eileen is right here, is if I go to this one right here and I say, look, this task, and I say down to comments, I can say at Gerry A.
It won't let you select yourself since you're in your account.
Okay, so
you have
say,
to select a team member.
Yeah, so please confirm we have all reconciliations. It'll show up on that notifications will, sorry, my spelling, I'm an accountant, not an English major, but it'll then show up on the notifications over here, and that allows us to see what's going on with what's going items. Also, the create function for project and clients has been unbelievably quick. So if you do need to convert from one system, that's how we got all our spreadsheets up into there. We're importing all the clients, and right there. So this little sample file that you gave us was pretty awesome. And then also being able to add manually, the team can do that. But the speed in which we're able to get information in and then start going it and then fine tuning it, that has been good. But also like these tutorial videos have been phenomenal, like instantaneous that's there. So we can get up to speed and I'm running out of time here. This has been awesome. The training, the support has been incredible. The roadmap, when you can go in and you see what's going on and you can vote on what's most important. We love this. This has been very clear. So we get clear transparency of where the product is going or the service is going. And we can also say, what about, this is important, that important. So the dialogue that we're getting from the Financial Sense team, especially product development and product management, has been unbelievable. Like it's the only other company I've seen that worldwide do is Intuit. They have an elite group of accountants they have come in to talk about, and they're all under NDA. Brad Wall up here at CP4IT was on the committee for a number of years. I think a couple other, I know I can't track them all, but they fly them down to San Jose and they talk with the development team. So Financial Sense and Shahram actually getting accountants to be part of the product development team is unbelievable. Like I need to stop because I am going to talk forever, and I better get back to the screens here. So
Okay.
in summary, templates, same page, we can see everything. I haven't gone into client notes and being able to put working papers in there and centralized comms, documents on time, tracking everything else, the portal stuff, like unbelievable. So that's our summary. I will stop. I will turn it over to you, Shahram, because otherwise I'll be here for another half hour.
Yeah, so what we'll do is I'm just going to do a quick overview of M.Sc. You talked about some big points, but I'm going to tie it all together. And then I'm going to do that in like 3 minutes. And then we'll open the floor to Q&A and see if anyone has it. There's some questions in the chat already. If you have questions about what you heard or what you're about to hear, drop it in. We're going to get to those in a second. I'm going to do a 2-minute sprint. Here, if you don't mind,
I'll stop
share
sharing.
my screen. Yeah.
I'll stop sharing. Sorry for taking so long. I should have.
No,
seen
you're
24.
good.
I was like, yeah, I could. I'm sorry it took so long. Like it's spoken like a true Canadian.
No, you did great. I mean, so I'm going to spend 2 minutes on this just because I know we didn't really even get to look at this view, right? So the premise of Financial Sense and what we do is we try to connect your firm. And we do this by giving you visibility into where work stands. We help you organize all that client information and create a place where your team and your clients can all collaborate together, creating that single source of truth. Because what we saw as firms grow and scale and they add team members and take on more clients, everything becomes a little disorganized, right? Or very disorganized. It's in spreadsheets, it's in documents, it's in your email, it's in Slack, it's in text, everything's all over the place. And you and your team don't know where things stand and they can't get the information they need to get their work done. And Financial Sense centralizes all of that. So the first thing you see when you log in is your workflow dashboard. This is where you're going to get the visibility to track the status of client work. So you know you're hitting all your deadlines and who's working on what. You can see all the work, when it's due, the status of it, progress, who on your team is working on it, and most importantly, what client it's for. You can run so many cool reports from here too. If you really need granular visibility, like you can drill down to type of work. I could say I want to see my monthly bookkeeping work that's maybe in review that is due this month. Okay, I'm good. There's nothing. But you can also filter by team member or several team members or a group of team members. So you can see what Jonathan's working on or what Sarah's working on. You can filter by client. So if a client calls asking questions, you filter, you see all their work in seconds and where it stands. So this view is all about that visibility. And then if you want to drill down deeper, like Gerry showed us earlier, the actual work, you can click into the project and see the work you're doing. So your team can see the checklist. This helps maintain quality. So your team does the process right every time. It helps you train team members faster. It's your documented SOPs. You can collaborate with your team like he showed you. You can tag each other in comments. You'll be notified in the app, as you can see here. When someone, like you can see Gerry mentioned me here, what he did earlier. You can see documents. You can see email conversations with clients. I mean, everything your team needs to get their work done is right here, all in one place. So we're organizing your work. We're organizing, giving you the visibility where work stands. And more importantly, you've got your client data too. And I'm not going to talk about this because Gerry showed this earlier. He showed us how he uses the client database and the client profiles, where you can store passwords, meeting notes, contact information, any type of client info you need. Again, keeping everything one click away. So your team has full access, your firm is organized at scale. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that, just get everyone a holistic picture of how Financial Sense is helping accounting firms.
There are some questions in there if you want to log into the chat.
Let me do that.
I'm cleaning most of them up.
So real quick, while we answer the questions, I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll before I forget, because I might forget. And the poll is, if you're not currently a Financial Sense user and you're interested in using Financial Sense or learning more about it, just answer yes in the poll. And what that's going to do is that's going to let us know, and we can reach out to your team. If you do want to start a free trial, you can always go to our website and start a free trial as well. And you'd have full access to our team for support. But let's run through the questions. So we'll start at the top.
The open ones, if you want. Yeah, the open ones, if you want to do those.
Okay. So do you have billable hours tracked? What about fixed prices for tasks? Is there a cost/revenue analysis available? So I can answer this real quick. We do allow you to track time and billable time, so you can invoice with that time through a QBO integration. However, you can set fixed rates on a client level, not on a task level. So for example, we have a report here. It's called the effective hourly rate report. So I can filter for a period of time. Let's say this month, I can see how much I billed my clients on a fixed fee or hourly basis and how much time was worked, both billable and non-billable, across the team. And what this does is this helps you identify your effective hourly or utilization rate, so you can identify your least and most profitable clients for your firm. So for example, you may be trying to get an average hourly rate of $100 an hour, even though you're fixed fee, right? You need it. You kind of are, when you budget someone, you're kind of guessing, I'm hoping to make $100 an hour. This will help you realize, am I making 100 or am I making 37? And if it's 37, month over month, you may need to renegotiate your rates because you didn't budget it right. You underestimated how long it was going to take. So we do have that functionality. Next question's from Amanda. Have you gotten any pushback? Okay, this one's for you, Gerry.
Yeah. Actually, our clients have moved. They're more comfortable sending it through Financial Sense now. Once we train them, they don't have to leave the text chat open all day. It just stays there. So they can log in at any time, as I'd mentioned, Amanda, and they can update the chat in real time. So unlike Messenger or the other ones were more real time, this is an archived chat where you can keep the conversation going that replaces email. And once clients understand that, is they don't have to go through their emails and find it. They can log into their portal. They can see what we're talking about for their particular item or project or task. And that's, they don't have to worry about, once we get them into the chat world, email disappears. It's basically the best of, I'll call it Messenger, and also, what's the other collaboration tool? Slack. You got it.
Yep.
So you got basically Slack built in to Financial Sense through the client portal and client chat.
And I would say your clients don't have to have it open all day. I mean, they can if they want, but one great thing is if you drop a comment in there and your client's instantly going to get an email saying, hey, Gerry from, the firm has asked you a question. They click that and they're in the portal, they can see it. So it's still easy. Clients like it because they don't have to download another app. It's not getting cluttered and lost in their email, which is probably worse for you because then you never get that response because they just miss it. So it keeps them one place to go for everything, and it makes it easier on them. So let's move on to the next one. Gerry, I think this one's for you. Do you use other applications to link to Financial Sense? Like,
we actually, because we have a lot of clients sending in items, we use Tax Cycle for all our tax suites, but and I know we use Office 365, so there's work underway to link client emails into Office 365. So, but we have actually started dropping apps like Excel. We started dropping other file sharing programs. So again, this gets back to the speed in which Shahram has been updating and innovating this product. It's helping us actually get rid of other products to focus on file management. So it's still very good at best of breed in helping us manage the engagement. And then depending on what we do for the client, we use task-specific software like, QuickBooks or Xero if we have particular details that we need from a transactional accounting level. But we've basically found that Financial Sense is replacing applications, that is reducing our cost of service, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers Salvador's question.
Okay. And then what can we expect from the FC Smart Vault integration? So we are working on integration with Smart Vault. And what that's going to allow you to do is a few things. And you know what? I think it's best if I just share my screen to show you. So one, when you're inside work, it will automatically link to Smart Vault. So what's really cool, I'm gonna move this real quick. What's really cool about Financial Sense is you can also link to your other apps or resources. So for example, you can link to an SOP document, or you could link to a Google Drive if you wanted to and didn't want to store your files here. You can link to Smart Vault, right? When you click it, it'll open it up. And if you're logged in, it'll take you right in. So right now you have to manually link to your apps, but with our Smart Vault integration, it's going to automatically have that link on all your projects and link to those engagements in Smart Vault. Also, when you create work, like let's say you create a tax engagement in Financial Sense, it'll create your tax engagement documents in that folder structure in Smart Vault. So you don't have to do all those admin tasks of setting up your folder structures when new clients or new work is created. And lastly, you'll be able to view your Smart Vault documents inside Financial Sense, so you never have to leave, right? So you would basically see your Smart Vault folder structure here and those Smart Vault files and can view them in FC. Our goal with Financial Sense is what we're doing right now is we're trying to integrate with every app in your tech stack. So you can access all of your client data, your documents, your information in one place, and your team too. So it's easier for them to find it, right? We want a single source of truth. So our goal is to integrate with all your apps. So all that data may be there, but it's also visible in FC or it's inside Financial Sense automatically. So what about, when will time tracking and invoicing be available? We do have time tracking already inside the app. Invoicing, right now you have to invoice with QBO, or you can export our time and import it into another invoicing system manually. However, we are working on creating our own invoicing module inside Financial Sense. So again, it's all in one place. We don't know exactly, we don't have an ETA on that, but my goal is to do that in the near future, 1 to 2 years, to have that invoicing platform. We just want to make sure we do everything else right before we add invoicing, because we don't want to spread ourselves too thin and water everything down. So we do have invoicing here in the near future. When you mention chat, within FC, is FC only a website or is there an app? Can it communicate through SMS into Financial Sense chat? So the thing about Financial Sense is it is a secure web application that your clients access their portal. But here's the thing. Your clients never create a password or username. They don't have to download an app. And we did that for a specific reason. It's impossible to get your clients to download an app. It's even harder to get them to remember their passwords. So we use secure Magic Link technology to still keep it secure so they can send you sensitive information, but they never have to create a login, password, or download an application. So basically, when the client gets reminded or gets the request from the firm saying you need to complete these documents or you need to do this task, we need this information from you, they click that email and it takes them inside the portal. They might have to verify their identity with a verification code that gets sent with them, but that's it. And then it's one click after that. So it's very simple, it's very client friendly, which is why Gerry was talking about earlier. You know, he's been getting his documents and information a lot faster, not just because they're getting reminded, but the clients don't forget their password and then they just give up or run through those other challenges. Shared emails. So inside Financial Sense, we do have an email integration where you can view all your Outlook and Gmail emails inside Financial Sense. You can respond to clients. You can even create work from those emails, right? Or pin it to work so your team can see that work instead of forwarding it. It's just more organized. And on the client's profile, you have an email audit trail where you can track every conversation with the client via email, but across your team. So if anyone emails a client about this or on your team, you'll be able to see that conversation. We don't have a shared inbox yet. That's something we're working on, but here it's kind of a shared inbox where you can see every conversation on the client, organized by the client. I'm just going through these really fast because we have a lot of questions and I don't want to keep you guys too late. let's see. Let me know if you have more questions about that. Can you restrict access to certain management functions that your team does not need to have access to? Yes, you have completely customizable user permissions to control what people can see and do in financial sense under invite team and user permissions. Filtering the workflow board, running reports is great. However, my CPA likes print reports. When we print screen from the filter workflow, it cuts off a lot. Is there a better way to print reports? So what I would suggest, yes, you can filter down and you could print this view, but you can also, like, let's say I apply like monthly bookkeeping. I want to see all that work. Let's do, you know, next month, right? Is you can download it to Excel and then print it from Excel. It might be better. You could print this view, but you could also download it in Excel and then have that Excel document to print. Okay, introducing client tasks. Is that something? Yes, the client task feature is probably one of our most popular features. Basically, this is what Gerry was talking about, where it will automatically request the information from your clients and remind them, and they'll have that passwordless portal to upload that information. So it saves you time because it automates your client data collection. It helps you get the documents faster because it's easy for your clients to use. That is included in the monthly subscription of, if people are curious about our pricing, it's $39 a month per user, per team member, unlimited clients, on the annual fee. And that's included. So SMS reminders. This is something we recently added to the client request. Because our goal is to help you get your client documents faster. So you don't have that backlog of client work and you can get your work done on time. So we added SMS text reminders. So your client will get a text message on their phone saying, hey, ABC Bookkeeping has requested this information from you. Go to your email to upload it, to access the portal and upload it. We don't have SMS communication, right? You can't ask them a question and they get that via SMS and they respond. It's more of a notification to their phone via text, letting them know you're requesting information. I can't show that on this demo, but if you get in touch with their team, they can show you that. Right now, we're just compatible with QuickBooks Online. We are looking at integrating with some more solutions. I'm getting tired. What do you use instead of Excel if you're dropping it? If you're dropping Excel, most people use Financial Sense instead of Excel. Financial Sense is built to replace Excel, so you don't have to track and manage work inside of there.
Yeah, we got rid of Excel. Once we moved Financial Sense, you don't need Excel for managing your files, clients, the projects. That's what we got rid of Excel, just as a little chime in there. So
the about of Financial Sense is great for requesting data, right? Because the clients get those automated reminders via text and so forth. But it's also great for sending information to clients too. You can inside, let me move this chat. You can go in the project. You could say, please review your tax return. I'm not a good speller either, Gerry. So, please read. You could attach it here, and then your clients would get that notification that you've asked them to review it, and they could view it in the portal, and then they can mark it completed once they've done it. Which I haven't actually showed you guys what the portal looks like, so actually I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Why not?
we got about seven questions left as well. So
okay.
while you're opening that up, I can just answer Michael Summers' question. Is FC client? It depends on your client base. There's probably there's some other information you can also. If you join the FacePoint group with Financial Sense, Michael, there's a lot of debate of price fixed versus billable, also value pricing. So the pricing is probably a strategic decision, but I think it's probably you got to identify what your ideal customer profile is, and then in terms saying whether or not they want to do a fixed monthly charge. You can reach out to me later. I can discuss that, as well as I have a coach, Brian Lazanis, who I can put you in touch with at future firm who can probably ask you a little bit more about pricing strategy through that piece. So you can ping me later, talk to Shahram, and we'll get you connected into the Facebook group, assuming that you're a user of Facebook, about Financial Sense, and then the community there is pretty strong within Financial Sense as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I pulled up. So basically your client's going to get an email like this. It's going to show the information that you want. If you have due dates, it'll show the due dates and what work it's for. And when your client clicks this, it's taking them into the portal. So here it's going to ask me to verify my identity because I haven't logged in yet. So I'm going to get sent a verification code. This is like me as the client, right? I would get sent a verification code, and that I just got that code. So 704 202, access the portal. And that's basically all your client has to do to access the portal. No username, no password. They can now see the item, so you can see, please review your quest. I didn't download anything, but they'll be able to see it. They can ask questions about it here, so it's all organized, so they don't have to email you. That's how Gerry's reducing his email. They can also upload their own documents that you need, and you'll get notified if they ask you a question or upload documents or complete these tasks. And then here, they can view all their other open tasks that maybe they're behind on too, and all past completed requests. So like, again, like you asked, like, can they go back and see it later? Yes, they'll be able to see all those old returns or information and re-download it and review it. So back to the Q&A. Drive maps, file explorers. So you can link Google Drive online. So if you have a shareable link to any other DMS document management system, you can have those, when they complete those requests and upload those files, automatically go to your other DMS systems instead of Financial Sense. So that is possible. The clients will not have access to the Smart Vault documents inside Financial Sense, but they will have access to those inside of Smart Vault through their Smart Vault portal. We do have a full client portal, which is what I went through, and we do not have an API for that though, an open API. We are working on creating an open API though for the future. What can we use to learn? So someone asked, if we don't have invoicing, what can they use? QuickBooks Online. That's what we recommend. We have a seamless two-way sync. So when you track time in our system, it goes in a QuickBooks. And if you edit it in QuickBooks or our system, it'll update and keep it in sync. If you don't use QuickBooks Online, you can always export our time very easily into a spreadsheet and import it into other billing systems. Canadian hosting servers, we're working on that. We don't have an ETA on that right now. Infinite scroll, that's something we're working on too. This is a popular one, so I'll mention this. We're working on creating right now, like you can only view a certain number of projects here on this view, but having an infinite scroll, so it's not paginated, it's just more of an ease of use. We're working on that. We hope to release that this year. Let me see, is there any other questions? Did I miss anything?
There was Michael Summers sharing financial data. Probably you want to use that through Smart Vault. Right now, based on who you have as contacts, accesses the files that you put in there, you share with them. So it's Financial Sense is focused on managing your practice. If you want to share specific files to specific individuals, I'd probably recommend you talk to Shahram and how you get Smart Vault working to provide that task-specific request for Michael Summers.
I would say you can use Financial Sense for that though, right? Because it is for requesting, but it's also, I showed earlier that you can attach documents. So it really prefers Smart Vault's going to be better, right? Because they have more features. It's a little bit more robust because that's what they do best, and that's what the thing they focus on. But it really depends. You can't go wrong with either option there. Client dashboard.
Salvador had a quick question about invoicing payables aligned with Financial Sense. I think he's asking more about transactional accounting. So probably, Salvador, you probably want to reach out to Shahram later on to get more clarity on that, because I'm already noticing like we're 15 minutes into the into this meeting that was supposed to be done in half an hour. So it's good. Canadian hosting was done. Client, could we also ways of filtering? Mariana, there's lots of filtering tools. I'd probably recommend you contact Shahram later about that one.
Yeah, you can do that though.
For Tony, Gerry, is we do have a clause about privacy. We do also make sure that we keep tax information. We haven't had any problems because there's a number of other software providers that don't have client access. And it's not, info for US government, US servers. If you actually check out the tax treaty, I'm actually getting on the CPA Canada Digital Tax Committee meeting in about 10 minutes. But this has been a discussion within CP Canada and CP Ontario in particular because of the fact that privacy laws, but there's still also tax issues. So there are some workarounds, Tony. We usually, for tax cycle, if we have super sensitive stuff, say completed tax returns, we usually put that through tax cycle. Most of the information they're providing us, because the other providers don't have hosted Canadian servers per se, I don't think some of the competitors do that as well because we're such a small market in Canada. But ping me and I can give you some other options in terms of if you want that piece. Microsoft, we've gone back and forth with OneDrive. Sometimes they say it is on a Canadian server, sometimes then it isn't. Usually the default for any of these tech providers is always US servers because they have the hosting power. If you want a TaxDome is not similar to TaxCycle, Maria, but Tony, I can kind of explain what's going on with that digital tax divide, and we're getting into a whole new area of privacy, tax laws, and tax servers, and the hunt for tax evasion on a global basis. So that will be, if you want to talk to that for 45 minutes, that'll be a totally different conversation. So, and that's it. Michael Summers, thanks for your answers. I think that's it. And then sorry for, I think that's all of them. So
that was a great webinar. So Gerry, thank you so much for joining us. I think everyone really liked hearing your experience and seeing how you're actually using it in your firm day to day. And thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks for all the great questions. Gerry, do you have anything you want to add?
No, thanks for great software. Like, honestly, if I don't respond to your email right away, it's because I'm working in the financial sense. So I check my email maybe twice a day now, which is nice. The innovation and the upgrades over the last 2 years have been unbelievable. Hopefully you'll get Kelly Parksick on for another webinar and guide of what else. The tutorial videos have, like, it's, yeah, I could just talk for hours about how much financial sense has, doubled or tripled our productivity. We're 100% digital. We're easily able to hand files between one staff member to another. The accountability function with clients is unbelievable. Like, we've been able to really crack down on clients saying we've done this, and this, and we say no, here's proof. So all that audit functionality within financial sense has been awesome as well. But anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna leave it. Thank you, Gerry, for that. I'm gonna leave everyone with 2 things. So if you don't know who Kelly Parks is and you're wondering what are these videos Gerry's talking about, go to Facebook and look up the Workflow Watering Hole. It's a Facebook group. Again, it's the Workflow Watering Hole. It's a group of accountants that talk all about workflow. Kelly Parks, she makes a lot of great videos on workflow. She's also an FC user, so she does talk about how she uses FC and some best practices. So that's a great place to go. And then lastly, I ended the poll a little bit early. If you are interested in learning more about financial sense and potentially using it in your practice, just go to our website. I dropped it in the chat. It's www.financial-sense.com. There's a little blue bubble. You can chat our team, jump on a demo. You can start a trial, no credit card required, full featured. You can do everything we talked about in this webinar today. So if you guys have any questions, just reach out to our team and we'll be there to support you. Okay, Gerry, thanks again for the webinar.
Thank you.
Everyone, thanks for coming. It was a great webinar.
Thank you. Have a great week.
You too. Take care, everyone.